Yeah, we are live now.
Live now.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah. Hi, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, from wherever you're watching from. So, this is after a long time. Myself and Dr. Susie is coming live. So, I think it was like a good uh, few months back, few years back, actually. Isn't it, Susie? Last
I think it was sometime last year. This is the last time we went on live together. It's been at least 8, 9 months, if not longer.
yeah, it has been a journey since, right?
Absolutely. So many things happened since.
Yeah, I know. So, guys, if you guys don't know us, I am Sherin Rishad. I am working as an RN. One second. I'm working as an RN in US, and my today's guest is Dr. Suzie Jacob Francis. You might all know her. So she's a GP from UK and a very successful online business entrepreneur. My mentee. I am a proud mentor of Susie. And congratulations, Susie. And I can see that she has been doing really well in the business and very excited for her new journey, and especially the latest one that is going to come, like, which is she's going to be a business coach very soon. I'm so excited for you, Susie. So today we are just going to discuss about, like, why working professionals need a side hustle like this, and and uh, and what do Dr. Susie think about our online platform, and what kind of changes that she got from our online platform. So that is exactly what we are going to discuss today. So thank you so much for joining in today's live, Dr. Susie. And can you please introduce yourself to our audience in case if they don't know us?
Okay. Hi, Sharon. Thank you so much for the invite again. It's been, as we mentioned, it's been quite a few months since we last went on live, but it's always a pleasure to be, doing lives with you. For people who don't know me, for the benefit of Sharon's page and my page, who are my new followers, I'm Dr. Suzie Jacob. I'm a general practitioner here in the UK. And I live in the UK with my husband, who's a private chef by background, but now completely retired, and and my daughter, who is giving her GCSEs, and her last exam is day after tomorrow. So she's
Wow.
15, going on to 16 soon.
Wow.
And also, of course, I have to mention this: a very proud digital business owner.
Wow, that's amazing. So a GP and a chef husband. That's dream. Like, a husband who can cook very professionally for you, which is a blessing, I would say. So I'm sure, like, with your daughter, it's not an easy journey, right? How is she? Like, is she a good teenager, or is she making troubles for you?
Oh, no, no, she's very good. She's much better than me, Sharon. I
Well
think
behave, well
I think I was much of a lot more troublemaker to my parents. I think she's
behave.
pretty good. She's pretty good. She's actually gone to the library to study actually for her last exam.
Oh, very
So
good, very
yeah,
good. She's a
yeah,
doctor of
she's
science.
okay. Like we don't have to bother much. She does her thing, and she's very good. I have to say, yeah.
Very good, very good, very good. So, Susie, can you please tell me a little bit about, like, before you come in, like, what did you think about this, and how your thinking from beginning has changed now, and how did this business grow you as a person, in a personal level?
Yeah. So before, obviously, I've been a medical professional now over 20 years, and like a qualified doctor for over 20 years. But if you think of how the years I spent, it's like we're talking 26, 27 years plus of
Mm.
medical education, really. So yeah, it's been a journey. So, but the only thing, when growing up, all I knew was there's no one in my direct family. I do have extended cousins who do a bit of business, but that's about it. But no one in my immediate family, like my grandparents or my parents or anyone into kind of like a business background. So the only thing I knew was to actually to have a good education and to have a good job, and that good job should provide for your family needs. And like my father, he's a retired banker. He was in the Middle East, where me and my brother grew up, and he was there for 42 years, and then he actually then said enough is enough, and he actually gave in voluntary retirement and came back home, because he was there till he was 65 or something. He was working there, and that was the only thing. And you see the example of your parents, really, and that was the only example. So my father was very hardworking. He provided for his family, and he worked for 42 years, and that was the kind of path that I and my brother kind of took. So we went to school, studied well, went to uni. He did MBA and logistics, and I went into medicine. And yeah, and then we got good jobs. We both settled abroad, and yeah, and that's all to it. But then the world has changed a lot from what my father did. My mom was a housewife. My dad had a very good job, very good position, so my mom never had to work, really. And my father was 40 years in the same bank.
Wow.
Now it's all unheard of, staying 40 years in the same company or things like that. Now,
Yeah.
if you're not happy with the place, you just skip, move to the next place which pays you more and things like that. So
Mm,
even the mindset of people, like initially when me and my brother was doing that, my father, I think, was getting a bit upset. You people are just skipping jobs and things like that. But the world has changed,
mm,
and things have become more busy. It's not like, even my dad once said, it's not enough. One person's salary is not enough anymore. And
mm,
that was what it is. And people think, like, why a side hustle? But actually, it's not a foreign concept. If you think about, people do two, three, four jobs. So
mhm,
what is that in one sense? It's actually
mm,
multiple streams of income. But
mm,
the wrong side of doing something like that is, you're still trading your time for money. You
correct.
still have to be there. Like,
Mm,
for me also, I wear different hats. In, like, today morning, I was in what we call in the England, if you're in medical field, I'm a PCN lead, so that primary care network lead. So I do a bit of management sort of thing, making like SOPs and things, like guidelines and this thing, and all those MDT sort of meetings, all those sort of things I'm involved in. So that was my hat in the morning. And then tomorrow and day after tomorrow, full day, I'll be a hands-on clinician, so that's another job. Then I do some digital online work also. So if you look at it, I'm doing three different things, but all these three different jobs require my presence, require me to spend that time. Now, if I don't spend that time, I'm either on annual leave or I'm on sick leave, and all these things are limited. It's not like if you're off sick for a month, you're going to end up with getting your salary, isn't it? There's a limit to how much leave you can take and things like that at the end of the day. And that's what people don't realize. So this having multiple streams of income is not a foreign concept. It's only just, we just need to actually open our eyes that, yes, you need multiple streams of income, but also how you get that money is important. So we need to focus on things that will make us money without our presence being there.
correct.
And for me, that became very evident during the pandemic, because my husband was at home. He was without a job, temporarily at that time, because he was changing jobs. And then we went into lockdown. We didn't get the furlough, the benefits if you couldn't go into work and things like that. And I had to work extra hours, like 5 to 6 days a week and things like that, just to make sure my family was comfortable. But what that made is, I had to be there. That resulted in burnt out, low mood, irritability. I was really depressed also, to a certain extent, and it was a very, very hard time. So, and then of course, what if I become ill? I started thinking, because I was seeing people dying, becoming ill in front of me, and I was like, that could easily be me. That could be easy anybody, really.
Mhm.
If not the pandemic, it could be any other reason, isn't it?
Yeah,
A genetic condition that comes, that manifests itself later on in life. It could be anything that can. So what is your backup? So if you stop working tomorrow in your 9 to 5, will you be able to pay your mortgage? Will you be able to support your children for university? Will you be able to live a comfortable life with inflation?
correct.
If the answer is no, then you need to be thinking really hard.
Correct. Yeah.
For me, that was the start of my journey. Although now I have lots and lots of doctors now asking me, at least five doctors a day, asking me, getting in touch with me, asking about their business. And today's reason is a bit different because AI has come to the picture now. And things have changed massively with AI.
Mm.
I have to say it is for some time, some things it is for the better. Like for instance, the risk of infections are less. AI is able to pick up things a bit more faster than us. So
Mm.
what that means is they don't need as many doctors as they needed before. So
Mm.
some places, especially out of hours and all, they're like saying, "Oh, we are really apologize, but we are making changes in the rota. We don't need as many people, and we don't have the budget." So
Mm.
what does that mean? We are getting replaced. We are either getting replaced by AI, or we are getting replaced by other allied professionals. Like a lot of pharmacists can do a lot of things that we are doing. Nurse practitioners can do what we are doing.
Mm.
So it's come to a stage where they don't need as much doctors, and if they can get someone who can do our work for half our pay, why not? It's unfortunately it's all a numbers game. They have to balance their books.
Yeah.
At the end, that means what will happen to the doctors who are in excess?
Correct.
That means you're without the job.
Yeah.
So
It's a.
things have shifted. Like when I started this, like it's going to be my anniversary in a couple of weeks, second anniversary in a couple of weeks. But when I started, this was never a problem. But now for the past 6, 7, even 8 months, it's a big thing. A lot of, we'll have a lot of doctors passing out by the end of July, needing jobs in August. A lot of them are asking people, like, we're applying for 100 jobs and we're not getting anything. It's
Wow.
very, very scary times.
I
Very, very
think about
scary.
it. I never thought doctors will be short of a job.
Yeah.
I didn't realize that.
In the UK. But then I'm sure once they see that thing, America and other places, once they see that the system is still working, I'm
Yeah.
sure they'll copy that. So, people are just waiting to see something different in a country and they
Correct.
might just copy that. Because
Yeah.
at the end of the day, they'll say, oh, this is a public system. Resources are always scarce. Um, there's a cheaper way of doing it. Why don't we do that?
Yeah. And when you think about it, like, doctors, to become a doctor, you have learned probably like 10 years behind it, right? You
More
invested
than that,
10 years.
like 10, 10 is minimum,
Mm.
like mostly even like 12 to 15 years on an average. I did about 15, I mean, about 13 years because I was into hospital medicines and then retrained. So, yeah,
Yeah.
but what I'm saying is, yeah, and then there is this ethical, moral debate about, can someone like who's studied half of what we've studied be able to do what we do, as well as we do?
Mhm.
Initially, probably not, but then with time, probably yes, because people
How much
get trained
experience?
and get experience. Like I know nurse practitioners who've been nurse practitioners for 20 years and they are better than junior doctors. I
Mm.
personally know,
Mm.
but that is because of 20 years of experience.
Experience. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. So
Mm.
it is coming. So and then robots. That's
Mm.
another robotic surgery. Like my one patient was telling me the other week, like less infection, less pain. Healing time is less because of robots doing it rather than a human being.
Mm. Mm. Mm.
It's
Correct.
very, very scary times. People thought, oh, medical profession will never be replaced, but it
Yeah.
is. And
Yeah.
it is not only doctors. If you look at pharmacists, a lot of them are, their role is replaced by pharmacy technicians. A
Mm.
lot of what nurses are doing are taken up by healthcare assistants, like
Mm-hmm.
auxiliaries,
Yeah.
all those sort of things.
Correct, correct. Yeah, everybody is trying to save money, including the government. So
Absolutely.
budgeting and everything is not only applicable to households, it's all applicable to government as well. So when you think about it, like, you are actually trading your time for money, and you are actually trading your like valuable memories, time that you need to spend, doing the things that is valuable for you, meaningful for you, and then you are sacrificing all these years and effort into something, and then you realize that all of a sudden, oh, you are a number. It's just not, it's not easy,
Yeah.
it's not easy basically. And so I know that, Susie, before you coming into this business, I know that you were into property management, and real estate and things like that, and you have been to crypto and all, right? And how I know how, I mean, how did this business change that perspective of you, like, why this business is different? Why do you recommend this business to anybody, even if they have other sources of income?
Yeah, of course. But so this discussion is not to say that any of the other things are wrong. By no means. This is just my kind of perspective on my kind of twist on why I did it.
Yeah.
Because there's lots of people doing property who are crushing it, doing very well, and
Mm,
it is a very good lucrative thing.
mm,
But for me, I was, as I've mentioned, I was working 5 to 6 days a week.
mm,
So when it comes to property, yes, now a lot of things can be automated. Yes, you can get other people to do viewing and all, but it's never like when you do it. When you have to go in person, see the property, view, and make the deal, close the deal. And then I was sometimes dealing with a bit more older people who had hundreds of properties, and they
mhm,
are in their 60s and 70s, and they are very old fashioned.
mhm,
They don't want to change.
mm,
Let's put it that way. They don't want to change. So I had to take annual leave to go and do. And don't get me wrong, I made profit in property also, but it was a lot more effort, and it was taking a lot more time.
mhm,
So that was my only issue with property, because it was not very flexible. The
mhm,
realtors were only open from 9 to 5 or 9 to 6. And when I was asking them after work, can you come to the property so that I can view the property and things like that, they weren't very keen
mm, mm.
to
Yeah,
come outside of their working hours to
yeah,
accommodate us.
yeah.
So I had to take leave. Now in this business, the flexibility is brilliant. I do a few minutes, I mean 15 minutes before work, in between work, here and there I do, and then I come back, take rest, and then do the business. So on that, and to be honest, you just need an hour a day. And when I say an hour, it's 15 minutes, pockets of time, making up an hour. And maybe on your day off or in your weekend, you spend a bit more, and which everyone can. And
Mhm,
that's how I reached. And then I've made so much, like a lot more than what I've put in. I've already made money.
mhm,
There are months I've made double of what I've make as a general practitioner.
mhm.
So it's like, and that is the sort of thing. And you have to imagine, this is all, Sharon, less than 2 years.
Yeah,
It's
correct.
less than 2 years. Like
Very,
if you,
very new and starting like brand new, everything from scratch, right?
yeah, everything from scratch.
Mm,
And then if you study any kind of business, the average time to find any kind of return of investments, or to see whether something's worked in your life, is between
mhm,
5 and 7 years. 7 years is when you start seeing all the fruits of your labor in a, like a proper brick and mortar business. While
mhm.
in our business, we can see people are job quitters within few months.
Yeah.
um, and most people in our business, like I am a doctor,
Mhm,
I am now doing part time.
mhm,
Within just 2 years into the business, I am
mm,
doing part time
yeah.
already. My husband's quit his job, and we can afford it because of the business.
Mm,
Because of the business, and because now we are a business entity also, a
mhm.
lot of things are tax deductible.
Yeah, yeah,
And that is the beauty. Like your holidays are tax deductible. If you buy some very nice clothes for an event, that's tax deductible. Like for instance, if I do lives every week, like I have to present myself, and if I say once a month I want to buy a special cloth for this live, that is tax deductible. My shoes will be tax deductible. All those sort of things. If
your
I need,
laptop will be tax deductible, right?
sorry,
Your
sorry.
laptop, anything.
Laptop, then your internet connection and all, like Lewis is also my business partner, so the internet is in his name, that's tax deductible.
Yeah,
All
amazing.
that is tax deductible. When we travel to a place, my petrol is tax deductible. I pay through my business card and things like that.
Mhm.
You actually save you a lot of money.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
crazy. It's really, really. And I'm like, why are we not taught this in school? But they are not vested to teach, because they want workers, isn't it? So they won't be
Yeah,
vested to
that's
treat.
that's tricky, right? When you think about it, I was the other day I was asking to Rishad, like, nobody taught us how to become rich in school. I mean, everybody, government is actually teaching you like how to be an employee, basically, because they need employees. They need employees for the society, and we are into that. That is why they are giving you promotions. They are giving you like a good competitive salary and everything, because we are slaves of that. Then
Yeah.
you know and the my coworkers who is actually working like overtime, what they're saying is like, I never pick up an overtime. So see, thanks to this business, not a single overtime, right? The my other people who's actually picking up extra shift, they are actually making their paycheck is in the job is actually double of my paycheck, right? In the job. But what they're saying is like, once they start picking up extra shift, they cannot stop it, because this extra shift is actually giving the big paycheck, and the extra shift is giving them that big paycheck, and they cannot not see that in the next month. So they are being an addicted to an overtime trend, so that is what it is happening to anything at all. So when you have promotion, when you are in a position, you are all addicted to what it is, what you're seeing, your position, or whatever. But what we are not realizing is that we don't have any time freedom. You are working for someone else, basically.
And not only that, Sharon, I have not done an extra shift for 20 months now. I've not picked up one
Mm.
for 20 months.
Yeah.
Now, I will not pick up also.
Mm-hmm.
And the reason being is I have done extra shifts in the past. And when I was very close to a, certain bracket,
Mm-hmm.
that will just push you over.
Mm-hmm.
And what happens is, I remember as a junior doctor, I was in the cusp of another, a level, of tax,
Mm-hmm.
very much in the cusp. And then I started doing these extra shifts. And what happened is, got paid less than when I didn't do the shift. And I cried
Mm-hmm.
because it was, and that time my daughter was not even 5 years old. And I
Mm-hmm.
literally cried because it was like I spent time away from her for nothing. Then
Mm-hmm.
I called the tax man and said, "What is this? Like I worked like this." They said, "No, no, but if you work extra, that means you'll be the next tax grade." I said, "No, I'm not going to pick up any extra shifts."
Right.
So they
Mm-hmm.
said, "Okay, fine. If
Mm-hmm.
that's the case, that's fine." I had to call the taxman for that. And
Mm-hmm.
then when I'm in a higher tax grade,
Mm-hmm.
anytime they will call and say, "You have emergency tax this month. We deducted £1,000.
Mm-hmm.
£1,000 is someone's salary,
Mm-hmm.
and they just deduct it.
Mm-hmm.
While if you have a business, you get paid first.
Mm-hmm.
You get paid first, and we just pay tax in the end for our profits. And if you have a good accountant, your life is sorted."
Yeah, so that is why I think, like, many people has to we have to like, majority of us, like, we are comfortable where what we are living, or at least we are pretending to be comfortable, right? Or we are in our comfort zone. We don't want to do anything different. We don't want to do, like, anything strange, anything not known. The thing is that making money is not that difficult, guys. It's actually easy. It's very much doable. I never realized that before I come into this venture. If you are going through a difficult system, yeah, it's, of course, it's going to be difficult. If you are trying to invent something very new, it's going to be a difficult, long journey. Okay, but about our platform, that what we are saying, we have a proven system in place. Everything that you want to run a successful digital business from home, everything is set for you. You have a done for you sales funnel, you have a done for you email campaign, you have a done for you website. Everything is done for you, all, and you have all the technical support, you have all the millionaire masterminds, which are, in otherwise, out of our community, you have to pay like, I don't know how much you have to pay for that, for such a session. So you are getting classes from millionaires from our community every week. Okay, that's not a small thing. So we have all these gold mine, or we have all these things, all these resources in our community in the same single platform. All you have to do is invest your time. Okay, so making money is not that, it's not that difficult, like as you think. It was years back when we think that there were a lot of scams, and you are actually putting like 50,000, $80,000. I don't know how people are, some people are saying, like, when they some I'm really wondering, like, recently I was thinking, some people, when they come and they ask like hundreds of questions, and when I asked about them, about their previous history, probably they might have lost a lot of money. And I think, like, Oh my God, if they had this much questions, if they were that much smart, how did they lose that much money? How did they lose that much? And eventually they found some legit system, and they are questioning this legit system, and where they have already lost like thousands and thousands of thousands of dollars, euros, and then why did they think, I mean, finally you found something working, and they cannot think that they still think that it's a scam, because they are already exposed to a lot of scams, I know, and it's very unfortunate, but
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 then
that's
there
what.
is a system, we all learn from mistakes, isn't it?
Yeah,
I also did a bit of crypto, but this is not, this system is nothing compared to crypto. This is legitimate. We pay tax on our system. It's not like gambling, and certain, like my dad does stocks and shares, and I was a little bit involved in between also. But there are certain timings you have to sell, or if you're not doing that, you have to have a designated person who does the trading for you and all, and you're paying that person to do, and in the end you get only very marginal profit out of the whole thing.
yeah.
This is like, once you set everything in, like for you and me now, our business is running, we're getting money in the background. Sometimes I keep get like the other day, I was like, there was two things that money came into my account, and I didn't even realize. Only after 2 days I realized money is coming into now,
That's
it's
exactly what I was
now
saying.
I'm telling it as a joke to my husband. I'm like, oh, we got paid actually 2 days ago. I didn't realize we got because I have few accounts here and there. I
Yeah,
got confused. Like I was like, oh, did we? Oh, we got paid. Okay, what? And you will come to a level where you get paid, and you kind of don't know where you get paid, because so many things are happening in the background,
yeah,
and that's the beauty, and that's the beauty about residual income, passive income,
correct.
and that's what me and Sherin are enjoying.
Yeah.
It wasn't easy to come out from the shell we were in, because there's lots of my father and mother, when they came to know I was doing a bit of business, the first thing is, oh, don't get scammed, don't put in a money and things like that. And I was telling in my heart, I didn't tell them directly at that time, but in my heart I was saying, okay, okay. And in my heart I was like, Dad, you've never spent money on a business, you've never done it, so respectfully I don't want to listen to your advice. I want to follow someone who has done the business, and who is where, and that person is where I want to be in the next few years.
Correct,
And
correct.
that's the sort of person I want to follow,
Yeah,
not somebody who's never done business in their life. And I have not that I love my dad. It was Father's Day yesterday. I spoke to him
yeah,
also.
yeah, yeah.
But it's out of the goodness of their heart, but sometimes the advice they say might not be best for you and your family and for the times we are living in. Because at the end of the day, I tell my dad that it's different. When you were working, you worked in the same bank for 40 years, and mama didn't have to work. But you yourself are telling me that now we are in a world where we every both the both partners have to work. So we are living in a different world, different from when you worked. So
Mhm.
respectfully, I have to decline. Obviously now he's very proud, and he was joking, oh, the director has called. That's what he was telling me yesterday. He's not even referring to me, the doctor is calling. He's like, the director is now calling, the director of the company, I mean CEO is calling. So he's teasing. My brother was there, it was his birthday yesterday, and we were teasing like, oh yes, the CEO is giving us a call now, she's busy. And both are teasing, and obviously he's very proud of me, and it's out like he's really really proud of my accomplishments and things like that. But yeah,
Yeah,
but sometimes people close to you will
yeah.
not be actually happy for you to start.
You know what, Susie? Actually, my mom cried. My mom was crying, like when Rishad told my mom that I started a business, which I didn't tell because I knew definitely that my mom will cry. So she cried. So and I told mommy, mommy, I'm just asking you one last chance. Okay, just give me one more chance. Just pray for me. That's all I need. So I'm going to work hard behind it. Okay, and that is how I started, just bless me, and I just need your prayer. Just one time. That's what I asked. So now she's very proud, very happy the way that I am right now. And thankfully, like, I mean, I wouldn't say that, if you're skeptical, I wouldn't say that, I wouldn't blame you, because I know that there are so many things. You wouldn't believe so many bad things that's going on around here. Like, you'll get scammed here and there. But one thing that we can say that it's not a scam. It's not a scam, okay? We have legit company. We have 50-year-old company who has global branches, have all the certifications for environmental product quality, everything that is needed to be the leading industrial leader, and everything is there. And you are affiliated with that company. That company is giving us, like, huge commissions. That is why we are getting huge paychecks. And that's what I'm saying you again, guys. Making money is not that hard. You are not supposed to live life like this, okay? You are not supposed to live like this. I'm not promising you, like, an easy money. I'm not saying that, okay, hey, give me like $10,000, I'm going to give you like $20,000 tomorrow. I don't give you any promise. It's because you are the one who has to do it, okay? I can provide you a system, but if you are not going to work, it's not going to work for you, okay? So I cannot promise. So everything, the only variable is you, and you have to work. And it's a business. It might take some time. It may, technically, in our business, you only need like 3 days to make money. Within 3 days you can make money, okay? But it might take some time. For me, it took me 3 months. So it could be a different story for Dr. Susie, and there are many people who is actually, my biggest paycheck in was like, 28,000 per month. 28,000 per month was my biggest paycheck. So that I cannot imagine that with nursing. Spending, like, I don't know how many shift I am picking up, but I still cannot make that kind of money. Spending time with my kids, that's the main important thing. If I want to go out now and eat something from somewhere, or buy something for myself, I don't have to think, do I have money in my bank? That's the freedom, guys, okay? That's the freedom that we are talking about. And your life is supposed to be like that. We and Can I ask you one thing, Susie? Do you think it is difficult, how difficult our system is? I know that you have done other things before, and compared to that, how difficult is to make money in our system?
It is not like we have a proven system, so it's not difficult. It's actually, it's just a cut. If you can duplicate the system, you don't even need to think really. Even the framework of how, what we mainly do is social media marketing. And what we do is, like, what I do, I teach my mentees sometimes the framework on how to even do it. I,
Yeah.
guys, this is how I'm doing you. Just copy and paste in your own words. It's as simple as that. But of course, you need to spend the time. So that's where we say it's not easy, because to get the time, like when I started, I was working 5 6 days a week. So it was not easy for me to actually come back after a long day to do it.
Mhm,
So that is the difficult part, to
mhm,
actually come back from work and have that discipline. But I kept my eyes focused on the goal, and I shifted my mindset, saying, like, why am I binging on Netflix and Amazon Prime, where if I spend that time to invest on my education, I can earn money. So I had to shift my mindset. So I shifted my mindset. I focused on the price. Obviously, lots of things came, like, health came. My mom-in-law passed away. My father-in-law was in hospital. There's so many things that will keep on coming, in life. But you have to be completely laser focused. Obviously, you have to deal with other things, if some death in the family, illness, and things like that. But you have to still be focused on the goal, and then consistently do that. That's all what you need to do to be successful. Now,
mhm,
compared to like studying medicine, when people come, because I get doctors mostly in my team, so I say, guys, if you can do 5 years of medicine, this is nothing. Like you were telling me about the coach thing, I'm getting ready for my assessment. I didn't have time last week. My assessment is in a couple of days. I sat the weekend, spent and as a doctor, I remember doing that when I was studying. So
Mhm.
the weekend was the only time I could study. So I spent, few hours, good few hours, and learned it.
Another thing, congratulations, Susie, that you are going to become a coach soon, and I am I'm very happy. One thing can I ask you? Did you have to pay to become a coach?
No.
Or was that coaching free for you, or did you have to pay for it, or was our system providing the free coaching for you to become a coach?
So there, I don't have to pay anything to become a business coach because I'm in the system.
Okay.
And it's only thing, obviously, to you can't just be a coach as soon as you come into it. So you have to you have to be in our system for
Some time.
like for a bit of a time, and you have to have showed a certain degree of success, or or sales, to reach to that level. And that is important, Sharon, because if you
Correct.
have not made that many sales, you don't have the experience. Like, now you and I are in a level where we have to be talking to people. Tell
Mm,
me why you're asking this way. Tell me why I should join this business and not do property. I will tell you. I
mm,
can have a one to one chat with you now and tell you exactly why you should be doing this. If you're doing medicine and doing shift work in hospital, why this is better than property. I have the skill set to do that, and all that was provided freely to
correct.
learn that. It's all free. For me to become a business coach was completely free.
Mhm,
And the
mhm,
assessment also, if when I had to become a GP and do medicine and all, I had to do exams.
mhm,
For medicine, my father paid for it. For GP training, when I had to give all the exams and training, I paid from my pocket.
mhm,
And I'm going to have an assessment in a couple of days, and I'm
mhm,
not paying a penny for the
mm.
assessment. And
Correct.
once I
And
pass
what does
that,
that mean to you? What does like after becoming a coach? Is that an extra source of income for you?
absolutely, it's an extra
Oh,
stream of income that comes in with for each coach. And I'll be able to expand. It's not just about the money, Sharon. It's like,
yeah.
then you have that personal contact with people who are under you, isn't it? And
Ah,
then,
yeah.
because no
The,
disrespect for you, like, you're in one end of, like, if I have someone in the UK and they say, Susie, I can't do afternoon, but coach Sharon only can do that time. Not to worry, we are both in the same time zone. I'll take the coaching call for you.
correct, correct. And that not only that, Susie, like I mean, I'm coming to the the leadership skills and everything to that part. But what I'm saying is like if you are a person seeing us and looking for an extra stream of income, Susie is going to become a coach, absolutely free coaching. Still, she's going to get money once she become a coach. Every coaching goal, she's going to get paid for $50 for every coaching goal. So if she has like say for example if she has 20 coaching goals in that month, how much she will get. So that's the that's a significant stream of income for her to pay her mortgage maybe. So that is kind of money we are talking about, but that coaching goal pays nothing compared to the commission that we are going to get in the business if we are doing the business well. So that is how lucrative our system is. And then of course the personal development, the resources, the learning, the connections and everything that you are going. I'm so excited for you to become a coach, Susie. Like I'm so glad you are going to be an asset to our team. You already are. And I can't wait to announce you as a coach, basically. But I mean, that is how exciting it is. How connecting we are, connecting each other and everything. Other day when somebody told me, Susie, like this is something like blah blah blah, money chain, pyramid scheme, MLM. I'm not interested. And I said, okay, thank you very much. Bye. Thank you for your time. What do you say about this, Susie?
Oh, today morning I had a doctor say, I'm really inspired what I'm seeing. Like, I see your success. I know, obviously in the webinar, which she saw me talking in the webinar also, and she was really impressed, and she's like, I'm scared, and and I don't know what to tell my husband. How can you convince my husband? My first thing, exactly, that's what I said. I'm not here to convince anyone. I don't need to convince anyone. You can see my page, you can see Sharon's page, you can see our successes. And our successes speaks for itself. It speaks louder than anything that we and you can say. I said, you know, the thing is, sometimes we've come to a cross, we come to crossroads in our lives. Yeah. For me also, when I joined the business, I didn't tell Louis, my husband, that I'm joining the business. I didn't, because I was scared. I was doing property, that, this, and then he say, oh, another thing you're joining. For him, he's like, another thing you're joining, and you're just going to lose money in that also. And I was scared of what he would tell me. And I quietly got into the business without telling him, and he was upset initially, but then after that, he saw the change in me as a person. I was spending more time with him, so he was very much happy. And then obviously the financial, obviously money always talks, isn't it? So he saw the financial side of things, and then and of course, last year in September, he became my business partner. So I told her, if you're waiting for everyone to be happy about your decision, then nothing's going to happen. I'm really sorry. I'm not here to convince you to join the business. I think you've seen enough evidence to show how this has changed our life. If you want, if you want to know more about it, you have to take the next step. And of course, it is a step of faith. Like how you also, Sharon, you took a step of faith. I took a step of faith because I did so many other things before that, and this was again a step of faith.
Yeah, yeah.
And
So
you have to do that.
correct. And can I ask you something, Susie? Like, I'm a person who's inquiring to you, and I'm asking you, like, Susie, why can't you say, why do you want me to pay 149 US dollar to get the information? Why can't you just say, you know it all, right? Why can't you just say to me?
Very easy, Sharon. Like, when, if as I've mentioned before, when I started this business, I was doing 5 to 6 days a week, long hours. And I have to come back, do the, and I'm a family person. I have a daughter, I have a husband, I have family responsibilities. So for you to know all what is in the 149, the pre-coaching videos and all, it takes minimum 3.5 hours. I'm really sorry. I do not have 3.5 hours to be talking one to one with you to tell you all about it. And even if and for me, trying to condense that within 5-10 minutes or even 20 minutes, I am doing a disservice for you, because you are not going to learn there's a reason why the pre-coaching is the 3.5 hours. I am doing a total disservice for you if I actually tell you what it is, and there will be aspects of it which you probably need to go in. Like for me, for our compensation plan, I went through it twice to have a grasp of it.
Mhm.
And this is, you have 30 days to go through the 3.5 hours of coaching. So I telling you in 5-10 minutes is, first of all, a disservice. That's what I personally feel. And
Mhm.
another thing, at that point I was working 6 hours a week, 6 days a week. And if I was to spend that much more time, like even half an hour with every person who comes in touch with me, it will be a job, and I don't need another job.
Mhm.
So, thank you very much, but this is the process you need to follow. And at the end of the day, if people are not willing to put in the effort, because all our training is all video based, and even when you come in to learn the process, you have to go through the video based training. And from my point of view, if you are not willing to do the 3.5 hours, how are you going to do the 40-hour plus training that is there once you are a business owner?
Correct.
I don't think then you have that mindset. And I'd like to work with like minded people.
Correct, correct. So basically, like, you need to have, as Susie already said, like, you need to have a certain level of trust. And again, what you're going to lose, 149 US dollar you are talking about. If that is a very significant amount of money for you, so that you cannot take risk, then this business is not for you.
Yeah,
Okay.
absolutely.
If that 149 US dollar is going to kill your family's security, this business is not for you, because this has more investment that you have to do comfortably to run this business. Okay. And you have to trust the system. That's the same way that me or Dr. Susie came. We didn't come, we came into, we followed the system because it's not because we did not have like brains, or we did not have we were something like, it's not because we had like 149 is nothing for us and we just threw it away. No, That's a system that you have to follow too, unfortunately that is what it is. And if you are saying that it's because of that you are not joining the business, sorry, you lost the opportunity. Okay. And then that's not for you. And otherwise we are happy to mentor you and coach you to the success.
Yeah, absolutely. And at the end of the day, you need money to make money.
Correct.
So if you feel like, you are not in that kind of position, definitely this business is not for you. If you're not having a job, find a job. If you are having a job but feel that you cannot, then take an extra job. We all have done that before.
Mhm.
And take that extra job or do the extra shift so that you have enough of buffer to start the business.
Correct. So, and then about the investment in this business, how do you compare the amount of investment in this business and the return potential of return on investment in this business compared to other businesses, Susie?
Mind blowing, Sharon. Oh my God. In property, if you were to get in London 2% return of investment, or if you're doing like these creative strategies, if you were to get even like 6%, or some areas maybe up north, you'll get about 15%. You're like, hey, that. And for stocks and shares, you average, you get about 10-12%. Yeah.
Yeah.
And you're so happy with that. Our return of investment is around 70% minimum. And we have people in our community having 200% return of investment.
Yeah.
Why do you think people are able to go? I'm a doctor who GP, so I was earning more, six figures, more than six figures a year. I was earning like that, and I have cut down from that
Mm-hmm.
within just less than 2 years.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't need to tell people to understand the significance of how much we are making for me to have cut down and my husband to have quit his job.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So you just do the math of
Mm-hmm.
a person who was earning more than six figures a year has been able to become part-time. Husband has been able to, quit his job, and he was also earning quite significant amount, all because of this business. And it's because it's a business. A lot of things are tax deductible. So you will be amazed at how much you can, how much you earn and how much you can, you just spending as tax because it's tax deductible.
Yeah. So I think we covered almost all the points. So if you are still skeptical, don't do it. Okay, don't do it. Okay. And if you are not skeptical and if you think that okay, this is not going to kill me, I'm going to give it myself a chance, and my family deserves more or me deserve more of my time, then connect to Dr. Susie or me. We'll be more than happy to help you. Anything else you want to add, Susie?
There's no better time than this. It's not like having an extra stream of income is a luxury. It's a necessity. And for all the reasons that we meant, because we don't know what's going to happen tomorrow, whether they'll call you in the office and say, we don't have the money to fund you by in 1 week, you'll have to leave. You're replaceable. Or if you get ill, they'll replace you. What will happen to your family? What will happen to your, how will you live? How will you survive? Do you have a backup plan? If you don't have a backup plan and you don't know how you'd survive if this was to happen to you, get in touch with us.
Thank you. Thank you so much for joining in today's live, Dr. Susie. It was such a meaningful. Do you believe it's nearly 50 minutes?
I know, Sharon. I think it's the longest live I've ever done. But anyway, we have covered quite a bit
Yeah,
today.
yeah. Thank you so much, Susie. And thank you, anybody who was viewing us. So, talk to you soon. Thank you. God bless you all.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye bye.